Coming up on Born American, quilting may never be the same now that Sushma's in the game. And hot new styles from Fold bedding to keep you warm at night. Then, the best in beds from the wood and metal masters of Desiron.
Welcome to Born American, I'm Mark Long. Now, Americans spend 8 hours a night on average in the bedroom. In fact, you may be watching from your bed right now. Well, stay right there. Today's show is all about that space we love and the 3 designers that are looking to change the bedroom for the better. Sushma Quilts are taking the tradition of quilt making from patchwork function to graphic design works of art. The husband and wife team at Fold Bedding hope their unique bedspreads will find their way to every bed in America. And the brothers at Desiron, inspired by their ironworking grandfather, have been building custom beds with a contemporary style all their own. So relax, this episode of Born American is all about the bedroom.
Quilting is the quintessential American tradition of giving new life to old objects. Now this craft is being updated with contemporary quilting designs from Denise Schmidt and graphic artist Sushma Patel Bould. Their innovative quilts are now coveted by old and young alike.
My family is from India, and I think that my first love of textiles came from the brilliant colors of saris.
In an uncanny juxtaposition of East meets West, Sushma has embraced this very American pastime.
My background is in graphic design, and I started to explore the different textile possibilities in which I could use my graphic design skills. And I kept trying to find something that I could combine my love of color, composition, texture. To me, a quilt is like a piece of living art. It's something that you can hold and touch and feel, and all the qualities of a beautiful piece of artwork go into a quilt. When I finally came across that medium, I thought, finally, I found it.
In 1996, contemporary quilting got its first facelift from Denise Schmidt's up-to-date, bold, and colorful designs. With her ingenious manufacturing idea of having the quilts hand-stitched by Amish women in Minnesota, Denise tapped into a cottage industry that was poised for a big breakout. Through the years, quilters have always been a tight-knit community.
I think quilters are kind of a nutty breed of people. They're people who really enjoy solitude and meditative activity, and I have pretty much found, without exception, quilters to be very generous in sharing their knowledge.
Sushma took a cue from Denise Schmidt, and while she may be a novice in the field, she's lost no time breaking new ground. Her first quilt, called the Bauhaus, won the Jurors Award of Merit at a recent Quilt Nationals competition.
It actually has a very rigorous and energetic composition. The way that it's built is every single step builds upon the other step. So in the cutting and in the piecing, there has to be such precision such that when the quilting takes place, the quilting goes off of every single line from the piecing. And once the quilting is done, the binding has to be just so. So every single step is contingent upon the previous step.
It's obvious that this is not your grandmother's quilt, and Sushma breaks with tradition again by designing her quilts on the computer.
I sketched a little bit on paper, but really what I did is I sort of pushed things around in Illustrator on my computer. It just enables me to sort of try a whole bunch of things really, really quickly. I really can be very painterly and compositional.
Once she decides on her color palette, Sushma pieces together the quilt top.
The first quilt that I made, I actually cut, pieced, sewed, quilted, did the whole thing on my little Bernina on my desktop. I'm not sure if I was a psycho for doing it that way, but I created a very, very large textile on my little sewing machine.
That experience led to the discovery of the long arm machine, a quilter's idea of nirvana.
Instead of pushing your textile through your sewing machine, there's sort of a driver, if you will, with a needle. And it enables you to sort of drive around. It enables you to go back and forth or in shapes. And it also holds the whole quilt in perfect tension the whole time without having to put that extra layer of stitching. It rolls the quilt as you're going through, and it creates a much more precise textile.
Just because they're utilitarian does not mean these contemporary quilts are ordinary. Quite the contrary, and both Denise and Sushma view their quilts as much more than just simple bedding.
I consider my pieces fine art textiles, textiles to be cared for and cherished and passed on and treasured as art pieces. None of my pieces are intended to just be blankets or bedspreads or, just filler.
And that's not likely to happen judging from the reactions Sushma's quilts get.
The interesting feedback about the Bauhaus quilt, just generally, is that it seems to have really struck a chord on the art front as well as the design front, which don't necessarily have to be mutually exclusive. And I think it was just very affirming that good design speaks to people. Good design speaks to everybody. People tend to get stuck on labels like, well, it's a quilt, or it's a piece of art, or it's a bedspread, or whatever. You have a beautiful textile which you can actually take care of, and that's one thing that's actually really important to me.
When it comes to buying a quilt of your own, Sushma offers a bit of advice.
The first thing is the design. That could be a traditional design or a more contemporary design, but is it an original design? Then the second thing is the execution. Everything from the choice of materials to the piecing, the quilting, the binding, all the steps that it took to construct the quilt, because the most beautiful idea is not a beautiful object unless it's well executed. And then I think there's just that intangible, oh my God, do I have to have this quilt quality? Is it a piece of art to you?
While Denise's beautiful designs have already helped her business expand, Sushma has also started to find success with her own take on this most traditional of American crafts.
To have started off doing something in a totally innocent, pure, passionate way with nothing other than making it the best that I could make it, it's quite astonishing to have had an aesthetic response, a commercial response, just a really gut-level response from men and women and old people and young people and everybody. So that's just been tremendously gratifying.